El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador is located in the mountainous city of Quito, Ecuador, in the Coto Collao neighborhood. The center itself is surrounded by residences and businesses alike. The area was selected because of the population that lives within the neighborhood and in the surrounding areas. Padre Juan decided to begin El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador in 1964 after he traveled to Quito and noticed a need for the young boys, who worked in the streets shining shoes, to get an education so that they could overcome their current circumstances. The school, which began with only primary grades, focused on technical education, as well as hygiene and medical care for the boys. Madre Miguel later joined Padre Juan as they worked to expand the program so that boys, girls, and their families could receive a multifaceted education that would assist them in changing their impoverished situations. Padre and Madre both believed that they would always go where the need was most pressing, and have spent their careers working with the most impoverished families in the Quito area. They view poverty as a spiritual problem that can result in low self-esteem. Their program seeks to empower families, never to give them handouts. The decision was made to open up a second center in the Coto Collao neighborhood, another impoverished neighborhood to the north of the historic center. The second center was opened in 1981. Around the center are many auto mechanic shops, beauty parlors, and pharmacies. The businesses in the area present a great opportunity for internships that students could take part in while they're still at school. Many of the businesses in the neighborhood lend themselves to the trades being studied at the Working Boys Center. There are also many restaurants within walking distance and the American-style Condado shopping mall. It does not serve the community in which it stands, but rather wealthier neighborhoods and foreigners. This is a map of one portion of the ground floor of the Working Boys Center. Of note are the variety of resources that exist for students and their families within the center grounds. The center stretches over many city blocks, with one entrance sitting off of Avenida de la Prensa and the student entrance opening out to Piedras Negras. The center itself contains 3 floors. On the top are the middle and high school grades, all the way up to 10th grade, when students will then graduate from the center. The second floor contains elementary classrooms, as well as the art and sewing room. The bottom floor houses the cafeteria, snack room, laundry, carpentry workshop, and auto mechanic workroom. The center itself contains many resources based around serving the whole family and the impoverished population that attends the school. Also on the ground floor of the center, there is a nursery where children beginning at 9 months old are cared for while their parents work and their older siblings attend the center. Within the nursery, there are many hands-on opportunities for the children to explore, including blocks, painting, and coloring. Beside the nursery is a library that is open to students and staff. It's filled with books and computers that students may use whenever they may need. During the open house that was put on by the students and teachers at the center, we saw one classroom studying the results of natural disasters. Several students presented facts surrounding volcanoes and hurricanes, while others had produced models of these disasters. In one portion of the second floor is the administrative offices of the directors of the center, in addition to a theater or meeting room, and the offices of the social worker and psychologist. In earlier years of the center, there was no social worker nor psychologist. Many of the workers at the center have expressed their gratitude for the addition of these 2 roles. Emden writes, "Young people experience trauma regularly in ways that go unnoticed or unrecognized. Fortunately, the center recognized this need and was able to find additional help." One of the year-long volunteers that I spoke with, Amberly, stated that she was appreciative of the fact that she had a place to refer students with severe behavioral problems. In previous years, this was not a possibility. Within the social work office, there are many resources for students to utilize, including informative posters about the different types of violence. The second floor of the center has more primary classrooms as well as the sewing and art rooms. The 6th grade students on this floor spent their year learning about the health benefits of different types of food. For their final class project, they put together a restaurant complete with various Ecuadorian types of food for sale, a cash box, and announcements about the nutritional content of the foods for sale. The sewing room has a large number of sewing machines, as well as areas to pattern and examples of work that is completed within its walls. Students are first taught how to sew patterns onto flat white fabric, then they move on to pillows, coin purses, and pockets. In the art room on the day that I was present, I worked with elementary-age students to construct animals out of felt paper and glitter glue. On the 3rd floor of the center are the secondary classrooms. Students in the secondary classrooms were engaged in their classwork despite the fact that the majority of the teachers on this floor were not present in the classroom. Students devoted 3 hours of their morning to working on a mathematics project in one 9th grade classroom, while other 10th grade students worked on English. One of the greatest resources that the center has is its space and machinery. Many of the classrooms have extra space, as does the cafeteria. The grounds of the center are also relatively expansive. All of the trade rooms have the basic machinery necessary for students to successfully learn how to participate in their selected trade. The students who attend the center possess a number of impressive assets. They are incredibly motivated. With little direct instruction, students were working on projects in teams, asking high-level questions, and working with minimal interruptions or breaks. All students in the school worked independent from their teachers and were dedicated to producing a high-quality product. Although many students come from low-income backgrounds, every student that I spoke with enjoyed where they went to school and felt hopeful about their future. Students at the center are trusted to appropriately use classroom materials, to share, to work cooperatively, and to work diligently, all of which I witnessed within the 9th grade classroom that I shadowed. The staff and volunteers are yet another fantastic resource that is present at the Working Boys Center. The majority of the staff were center members themselves, therefore they know the challenges that many of these families face. They also have completely bought into the program, living the values and service of the center in their daily lives. The staff have high expectations of their students, never faltering to ensure that they are pushing their students to their maximum potential. They are caring, patient, and giving of themselves, through their time and stories, as well as through classroom materials and resources. Another fundamental resource that is unique to El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador is their value system. Because Padre Juan and Madre Miguel believed that poverty is a spiritual problem, they chose to institute 10 values that they believe will help families to feel empowered to contribute to the world around them. Loyalty is the first value of the center. The majority of the families that I spoke to told me that they discovered the center through word-of-mouth recommendations from previous or current center families, workers, or volunteers. Loyalty to the family and the center is crucial to building the community feeling that is present at the school. Personal formation is the second value at the center. Padre Juan and Madre Miguel seek to change center members' perspectives of their situations from that of being a victim of their circumstances to one of empowerment and responsibility for one's lifestyle and choices. As part of the program, center members must contribute their time to center activities and service work for the betterment of the program. The third value is family. The center seeks to have each member of the family recognize their unique role within the familial structure and to take responsibility for the well-being of the family as a whole. Students cannot enroll in the program without family members. Padre and Madre believe that everyone in the family must be healthy and educated, not just the children. As the center is a Jesuit organization, their fourth value is religion. Students attend Mass at least once a week, where they discuss service to others and each student's place in society as seen by their religious practice. From its very inception, the center has believed in providing education to students and their families. The program works to change students' perspective of school, from a series of never-ending tasks without a clear endpoint, to a planned journey that is designed to meet their aptitudes. The center emphasizes not only a traditional education model, but also technical training for many in-demand fields where students can find employment immediately after graduation. One of the greatest challenges faced by the population that attends El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador is the need for responsible spending habits. Many center members have mentioned that before they became a part of the center, that they would spend every cent they were given as quickly as they had received it. The goal of the center is to teach families about responsible spending and saving. They work to change perspectives about money, from believing that having a plan for your money is not important to your future, to the true importance of what saving and budgeting can accomplish for a family. As the Working Boys Center was founded because of a need for a balance between education and work, Padre and Madre ensured that work continues to be a value of the center in more modern times. Recently, Ecuador has begun to strictly enforce the law against child labor, which has caused the focus of the center to switch from supporting whole families in their need for education and work to a focus on parent jobs and student school schedules. The center believes that work is an important aspect of being able to contribute to your family, but also to the society at large. As Padre Juan built the center, he realized that there was a great need for healthy recreation between family members. During the early years of the center, all members worked long hours and would come home and sleep. The center impresses upon families that they must find ways to play together in a healthy manner without drinking or drug use. Many of the boys at the Working Boys Center would work shining shoes all day and would come home to eat without having washed their hands. Madre Miguel then decided that the need for health and hygiene were crucial for a happy, healthy life. The center provides showers for its members so that they can shower daily. Many of the families that attend the Working Boys Center do not have stable housing. In addition to their savings program, keeping up a clean and livable space is emphasized in the Working Boys Center. The 10 values of the center are a resource that cannot be understated in the lives of the students and families that are a part of the community. One of the greatest challenges that is faced by the community that attends the center is housing. Many of the families at the center do not own their own homes, which can lead to many other difficulties when it comes to schooling and work. In the past, Padre and Madre have worked with families to open up savings accounts so that eventually they could buy the land on which to build a home. With help from the community, mingas are organized to help families construct homes on their newly purchased land. Neither Padre Juan nor Madre Miguel believe that their students deserve anything less than the best. Inside of the classrooms, students were working on projects that deficit views would shy away from. The 9th grade students that I shadowed were working with programming and technology, with complex building design and electrical work incorporated into their final project. Students were first instructed to build a small house, complete with a kitchen, living room, bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and a fully functioning garage. Once the framing of the house was complete, students then needed to furnish the house with paper furniture, which was then glued to the floor. Finally, students were given a small motherboard, 7 light bulbs, and wiring with which to wire the house that they had built. With a phone app that all students had downloaded, they then needed to program each light to work on a switch connected by Bluetooth to their cell phones. There are many real barriers that the families at El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador face, including food and housing insecurity, medical care, long commutes, and transportation costs. In spite of these barriers, students show up to school, are studious, and every member of the family that I spoke with sees hope because of the resources that the center provides them. Members of the Working Boys Center have linguistic capital in so many aspects of their lives. Not only do they have the ability to get to and from school, inside of the school walls, students interact with peers from 9 months to 16 years of age. Because the center welcomes Americans into the school frequently, the center students also have the unique opportunity to interact with people from another culture, which they do with great curiosity and little fear. Yet another fund of knowledge that the center imbues is familial capital. Family is one of the center values, and the family is involved in many aspects of the education that takes place. The workers at the center have come back to work for the place that changed their lives, thus forming a second family. El Centro de Muchacho Trabajador is a family of families, which allows students to learn about the different types of community, both large and small. Cosmopolitanism is in full effect at the center. One of the greatest examples that we were able to witness was the students cleaning up after their classmates once lunch was over. Every day, a different group of students is responsible for cleaning the cafeteria. Emden also writes, "When teaching doesn't connect to students, it's perceived as not belonging to them." The projects that we viewed during the open house all connected to students' lives in one way or another. Computer technology, nutrition, natural disasters, electricity, and domestic violence were all on display. During the 10 days that I spent in Quito, there were a number of things that I felt I could incorporate into my classroom in the United States. There were 4 things that I found to be the most impactful that I have taken back with me. The center gave students opportunities for autonomy in several aspects of their day. Teachers trusted their students to be on task, cooperative, engaged, and creative. In American schools, I believe that we need to give students more opportunities for choice and trust in our classrooms and schools. I also spent time reflecting on the importance of community and family. In American schools, we should work to provide families with more opportunities to get to know our programs and ourselves. A focus on autonomy, trust, community, and family in schools in the United States will help students and families to feel safe and respected in our schools. All of the members of the center are caring and committed to putting in the work necessary to change lives.